Welcome to this consultation where we'll be reviewing LVMH's 2024 Universal Registration Document and the Life 360 strategy. My goal is to connect your sustainability initiatives directly to financial performance, risk management, and long-term value creation. To begin, let's look at LVMH's approach to sustainability and ESG. Your company takes a comprehensive, structured approach that links business value creation with broader sustainability imperatives. The double materiality assessment is key. It allows us not to assess how ESG issues affect LVMH's financial performance, but also how LVMH's operations impact society and the environment. This is not just theoretical. LVMH actively links reporting to stakeholder engagement, listening to employees, customers, suppliers, investors, and communities, and this ensures that the strategy reflects real expectations and concerns. Because sustainability is a fast-evolving landscape, LVMH also incorporates new regulations, global best practices, and emerging science into decision-making. Importantly, your priorities map clearly to the UN Sustainable Development Goals, including responsible consumption and production, climate action, decent work, life on land, reduced inequalities, industry and innovation, and partnerships for the goals. These provide a strong external benchmark for the progress that you're making. This brings us to your Life 360 strategy, which is the backbone of LVMH's ESG efforts. It is built around four core pillars: creative circularity, climate, traceability and transparency, and biodiversity. Your results to date are impressive. Scope 1 and 2 emissions have been reduced by more than 55% since 2019. Scope 3 intensity is down nearly 1/3. Renewable energy now makes up 71% of your mix, and traceability has reached 98% for leather and 99% for exotic leathers. Each pillar is concrete and focused. Creative circularity addresses the full life cycle of luxury products: sourcing, waste reduction, and product longevity. Climate aligns with global carbon reduction targets across manufacturing, logistics, and retail. Traceability ensures ethical supply chains, fair labor, and human rights protections. And biodiversity safeguards ecosystems critical for raw materials through responsible land management. Compliance plays a central role. As a French headquartered company, LVMH must meet European standards such as the Corporate Sustainability Reporting Directive and the European Sustainability Reporting Standards. But LVMH also applies global frameworks like the UN SDGs and the Global Reporting Initiative, reflecting its international scope and diverse investor base. One reporting strength is your ability to clearly separate achievements from future goals, quantifying past progress while transparently describing what remains aspirational. This builds trust and credibility. Here's a sample double materiality matrix of LVMH's ESG issues. In the top right, ethical sourcing is both a compliance necessity and a reputational driver. Climate change represents a systemic risk with financial impacts that will rise quickly as carbon regulation expands. Human rights in supply chains matter not only for people and the planet, but also for business value through higher retention and reduced turnover costs. Waste and circularity carry clear environmental benefits and measurable business efficiency gains. By evaluating both inward and outward impacts, LVMH positions itself to move beyond compliance and create shared value. Your strengths are clear. Life 360's pillars are specific and measurable. Traceability progress is credible, and circularity initiatives like Nona Source demonstrate creativity by reselling unused fabrics to young designers. Yet gaps do remain. Social performance indicators such as living wages and artisan well-being are not fully quantified. Biodiversity targets are ambitious but lack localized metrics, and Scope 3 disclosures are not yet as granular as investors expect. This is where systems thinking is important. Climate, circularity, and social programs must reinforce one another. Without integration, we risk the tragedy of the commons, where shared resources like forests and the atmosphere degrade unless governance ensures coordination. LVMH embeds ESG structurally. The Environmental Development Department sets group targets and reporting rules, while each subsidiary tailors them to milestones and budgets. Programs such as Nona Source, Métier d'Excellence for Craft, and the HULT Fund for Employee Wellbeing show alignment of purpose with action. Still, improvements are needed. Scope 3 goals must be more ambitious, labor disclosures more detailed, and ESG metrics more explicitly integrated into board oversight. Turning to stakeholders, we see diverse priorities. Internally, employees expect fair wages and high welfare standards. Artisans look for skill preservation, fair pay, and recognition. Externally, investors demand transparency and assurance. Customers seek ethical sourcing, and suppliers face rising compliance requirements. NGOs such as UNESCO and Canopy expect leadership in biodiversity and conservation. Balancing these expectations is complex, but it is critical for maintaining legitimacy. Now, some stakeholder needs remain unmet. They want deeper tier supply chain traceability through advanced technologies, transparent grievance reporting, and aggregated outcomes. formal stakeholder engagement channels, and an annual dialogue report, reporting on consumer use emissions and campaigns on sustainable product care, socioeconomic impact assessments for major sites, and clearer financial attribution of sustainability investments through return on sustainability investment methodologies. Now, LVMH's leadership team is well positioned to act. Bernard Arnault sets corporate direction. Antoine Arnault oversees Life 360 and external messaging. Helene Balad translates strategy into KPIs. You, as CFO, integrate ESG into finance and reporting. And the board provides oversight. Together, you can address supplier dilemmas by designing incentives like shared audits, long-term contracts, and preferential terms for verified compliance, ensuring cooperation and mutual benefits. Peer benchmarking offers lessons. L'Oreal lands on climate, targeting net zero by 2050 and including consumer use and emissions. Kering sets ambitious nature targets validated by the Science Based Targets Network and aims to cut supplier energies by 70% by 2035. And SAP sets the standard in integrated reporting with clear accountability and accessible data. For LVMH to remain competitive, it must measure consumer use emissions, adopt SBT and nature targets, and drive supplier energy reductions. Ultimately, Life 360 connects sustainability to LVMH's core values: desirability, craft excellence, and brand equity. Sustainability enhances brand appeal and loyalty, preserves natural resources essential for craftsmanship, and builds trust in competitive markets. The business case is clear. Energy efficiency and waste reduction improve operational excellence. Proactive sustainability reduces regulatory and reputational risks. Circular initiatives create new revenue streams while reducing impact. And these prove that sustainability investments generate tangible returns. Challenges remain: absolute versus intensity targets, Scope 3 data gaps, and balancing artisan craft with scale all require attention. Now, LVMH has been transparent about complexity, but greater detail is needed in action plans, including sections titled "What's Hard" and "What We're Trying Next," would increase authenticity and allow investors to accurately price risks and opportunities. My strategic recommendations are fourfold. In the immediate future, develop our ROSI methodology to provide to prove financial returns on Life 360 initiatives. In the near term, in 12 to 18 months, commit to land and freshwater targets validated by the Science-Based Targets for Nature. In the medium term, engage suppliers to cut 70% of their energy use by 2035, supported with financing, training, and verification. And in the long term, expand circular business models that open new revenue streams while strengthening sustainability credentials. Thank you.